Oh, I'm wound up today. Damn. Everybody, share the show. Welcome to the show, everybody. It's Hal Sparks, Megaworldwide. Like, subscribe, give a thumbs up, support the show, share it out. Let everybody know we're here, even if they don't want to. This is a calling all trolls moment. Get in here. You guys, I wish I could say you'd want to hear this. That's clearly not the case. You need to, and take your medicine. I just got to say, there's some dipshittery going around in your circles, and I have to say, being someone who doesn't panic just as a part of my internal mechanics, which I'm a poet and a few people know it, I do find it adorable. I'm not up on Twitch. Why am I not up on Twitch? I should be up on Twitch. What happened? Oh, look at this. An error occurred. Please try again later. Let's start that again, and we'll turn it back on and see if the switch worked again. And sending data, an error, there's something going on with Twitch. An error occurred. Why would that be? Uh-oh. What's happening, Twitch? What's going on? Are they messing with me? Is that what's happening? Are we finding a situation where Twitch is being a jerk because they don't like what I'm saying or doing or something like that? Pause. Hold on. Go here. What's the issue? Creator dashboard. You've been kicked to the curb. No. I got my pop recap. I put up some stuff. Analytics are good. Stream manager. I'm in the plus program. Everything seems fine. It says I'm offline. Settings. Any messages that I need to notifications. I have a front page. Front page. Oh, that's lovely. Share viewership is here. Give us your feedback. Offer for chat. Nope. Okay, obviously there's an error going on. Trying to, doing the old turn it off and turn it back on. Yep. Save again. Sending data. Ooh, doesn't even like it. Look at that. Let's see. How do I remedy this situation? Oh, because I also have... Well, shit, I can't... I have to turn the thing off there. All right, I will keep trying to get us up on Twitch. Maybe it's the title. Yep. Let's try this. Let me do something weird. I'm just gonna take off. Quit it. I'm just gonna take off the title part. I don't think I have a. Let's see. Podcasts. Something like, there you go. Talk shows and podcasts. Doing just fine. There we go. And we'll flip it back on. See if it just doesn't like my title. It's probably not. It's probably an error of something that's going out or something weird. Sending data and streaming. That's what it was. It didn't like me using the M word. Look at that. That's the problem with having the greatest live stream ever, is that people have to deal with the impact that you're going to have no matter what. And they get scared. They get afraid. And it's okay. It's not so much a word as a acronym. But let's see. What have we got over here? Manage my goals. I haven't looked at the behind the scenes of the Twitch stuff in quite some time. There's a Streamlabs thing in here. I can put in the Streamlabs, yes, into my, okay, that's the overlaps. That's wonderful. And then I think I can put some like, put stuff up on stream chat, highlight settings in there. Something like that. I don't know. It all works fine. It's good. So, all right. Real quick, little bit of housekeeping. Our dear friend Rob Glenn from Friday Eye is flying into Vegas today. He'll be in at like 5:30. So I'm going to finish the show relatively close to my normal exit strategy, and then go meet with him for dinner and talk over great plans to scare the fertilizer out of the right by outsmarting them in like the cleanest and coolest and kind of nerdy-ish ways. So we'll talk about that afterwards. But here we go. I have to say, there's a whole lot of dumb today. I'm just going to warn you ahead of time. This one I had to jump straight into because God bless Can't Stop Lying. We salute you, sir. It is very difficult to find clips that I haven't seen already, especially around topics that have been running at it for a while. And granted, there's enough idiocy around the drone topic, for example, that it's so sensitive and so weird and so full of BS that people are still, as of this clip was put up 3 hours ago, as of 3 hours ago, are still pegging the needle on moronic. I gotta say, well, you'll see what I mean, because the title alone. Okay, anyway, but first, chat room, since you're here, I just want to, will Trump sue Hal Sparks? I hope so, because I would love the discovery process, because here's my discovery for that lawsuit. Your Honor, I rest my case. And his discovery will be, I don't know, someone in the Oval Office threatening somebody just for saying stuff he doesn't like. Boo fuckity who. Freedom of speech, asshole. I'll come into court every day wearing a sandwich board with the Constitution on it. It'll be great. Now, granted, I think I have more money than he does, so that's concerning, even though I have very little. He owes everybody. So, again, debt to asset ratio, I think, is the problem with him. But anyways, hi, chat room. You guys are wonderful. Let's get to the video, the first one, because you'll see. I gotta say, we may. How do we even get there? We may. I swear to God. There might be. There may be. There probably will be. A breakaway moment. I'll show you. This is. Ladies and gentlemen, please subscribe, will you? Help me out here. I've checked the analytics, and according to the algorithm that loves me, only 8 people to every viewer I have on any given 30-second period subscribes to the channel. So just subscribe and hit the notification bell, whatever. Anyways, so you can probably tell, chat room, why I am this video aggravates me right out of the gate. Whew. Yes, that's Adam Corolla. So if Dr. Pinsky has converted his career as a blathering relationship sexpert on local radio in Los Angeles into the hallowed halls of filming addicts while they burn down. Adam Corolla is now, I guess his role is Muppet-voiced contrarian, I think is the official title. And look, I understand why he's got a chip on his shoulder. He wasn't named after a Ferrari. And it's got to suck to be in traffic, look over and go, oh, great. So I think a long time ago, because of radio, he should have changed his first name to Toyota. That's just me. But the primary thing in this is that when they're talking about drones and stuff like this, other than what's your take, wacky guy, that I think maybe is going on here, again, not pre-watching it. Why you would ask Adam Carolla's take on any of this is beyond me. As someone who has drones, makes computer stuff, I think from even a hobbyist standpoint, I probably have a little more to say on the topic than most people, because I have multiple drones and I've flown them myself. And big ones and small ones. I even crashed my first one horribly. Adam Carolla's upset with Kimmel. Why? Because Kimmel has a career? Ouch. All right. Now, still, hey, man, we're both on the same platforms. So, again, I'm not punching down at Adam Carolla. He's, after all of his years and stuff, he is topping out on doing his show from home too. Great. So anyways, this video is, I can just tell, and I'm warning you ahead of time, it's going to upset me. I'm going to get so mad, I'm almost going to like it. Okay, here we go.
Have you been following the drones?
I have my eye in the sky, but I do not claim to have any special information on the drones.
Then you don't have your eye in the sky.
Well, everybody in the Northeast is talking about it because everyone's seeing them. They're everywhere. And first we were...
No, they're not. They're all seeing the same ones, and they're not everywhere. Most people are seeing airplanes, but we'll get to that in a minute.
Told we weren't, and then we were told, oh, it's nothing, and then we were told, oh, it's just the same amount of drones that are always out there. Like you're inventing it in your head.
Yeah, no, that's not what they said at all. As a matter of fact, specifically, they pointed out the fact that the law has changed. You can fly drones at night, and that's why there's more of them around, especially at night. And they aren't related to ones that asshat, maggots are flying around military bases because they're helping spot Chinese spies or some shit.
You've heard the story and now you're seeing what's not there. Totally untrue. That's just not true. Then yesterday...
Yeah, it's gaslighting and straw manning and like dipshitting. Let's just call it dipshitting. If it doesn't even qualify as intellectually sound enough to be called straw manning, I think it should just be dipshitting at this point. You're just dipshitting. You're just saying dipshitty stuff to kind of flood the zone with shit. You're dipping into shit. And because you don't know the difference between it and Shinola.
The Pentagon and others came out and said, oh, it's like a collection of, it's like hobbyists, commercial fixed wing aircraft, and also law enforcement. Like they just drop it in there like we know that's what it appears to be. It could be federal law enforcement. It could be CIA. It could be FBI. It could be... Yeah,
it's not CIA. CIA has to operate outside the United States. It would be FBI if it was, and it could be state. And again... If they're looking for something specific and that person, if you know, they know, blah, 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 there's plenty of reasons why they would say that. But nobody's going like, yeah, we know, okay? I'm not one of these people who thinks it's aliens, okay? I know it's the government watching people's backyards.
Pentagon, that's all law enforcement. And
no, it isn't. The Pentagon is not law enforcement. The CIA is not law enforcement. It isn't. You weirdo.
Now the speculation is, of course, what are they doing up there? What are law enforcement drones looking for?
Laws to enforce. Perhaps. Evidence, fugitives. Maybe they're testing the anti-drone countermeasures that they have. So they're flying drones to see if they can spot them. And they have.
And here is New Jersey Mayor of Bellevue.
Oh, this motherfucker. Okay, I know what this is. All right, here we go.
Michael Melhan with some new information. SOT 12.
Is it, though? Is it going to be new information, or is it just going to make me mad?
We also know that we have drones that are flying in a grid-like pattern.
Do we? We do? That might be the Big Dipper, though.
In my opinion, they're looking for something.
In your opinion? Well, that and a quarter will buy you a cup of coffee in 1935.
What might they be looking for?
I'm going to go with, since my reference is Blue Thunder, I'm going to guess women doing yoga in the nude. Yeah, that'd be that in general. Hover mode, night vision. Or I think they called it whisper mode, actually, which was adorable.
Potentially, we're aware of a threat that came in through Port Newark. Maybe that's radioactive material. There was
a threat that came through Port Newark? No. No, we're not aware of a threat that came in through Port Newark. What's his name?
And there is an alert that's out right now that radioactive material in New Jersey has gone missing on December.
Okay, first of all, it's New Jersey, so how would you know? The whole place reads with a Geiger counter. It's New Jersey. I'm kidding, of course, but by the way, this is horseshit. This has been around for...
December 2nd. It was a shipment.
The fact that she fucking posted this video like 3 hours ago, when it's like... never mind, I'll show you.
It arrived at its destination. The container was...
By the what? I can't tell if that's Megyn Kelly or the host of the show.
Damaged and was empty. So
okay,
potentially
wait,
we're looking
stop
for
right
that.
there, Mayor.
Yes, there's a crate of plutonium that's missing. Right, that's the idea.
Because that's very important information.
It's super important information that there's radioactive material that was in a giant crate and it's empty, and where is it?
And that came from a credible source.
That came from the U.S. government.
And so... It's missing?
So that came from the U.S. government, and you've had this information for a while. Let me guess, the U.S. government posted that as a notice?
And they think it's in New Jersey, or it could be anywhere?
It was lost.
Well, I mean, it smells like it's in New Jersey. I got to go with it.
In New Jersey, in transit. And again, this is just an example.
It's probably on a bus.
Of what I think that we're sniffing for.
Okay.
Oh, my God. I'm going to get mad, aren't I, chat room? I am. All right. Hold on. I might need to gather myself. Because it's already dumb. It's going to get dumber. Here it comes. Shit.
We've lost radioactive. This is like a scene out of
We have not lost radioactive material.
Back to the Future, Adam. Like,
it's like what?
you remember Doc stole a whole thing of plutonium to make the DeLorean run? Where's our radio?
Excuse me. Fuck you. You will not diminish the great Emmett Brown. He didn't steal it. He tricked Libyan terrorists into thinking he made them a nuclear bomb, and he took the plutonium and gave them a bomb made of old, like pinball machine parts, right?
Active material. And is that what the drones are looking for?
No, they're not. I guarantee it.
We don't know, but this is why people.
Yes, we do. Yes, we fucking do. Yes, we do know, stupid. Jesus Christ, woman.
People are freaked out.
That's because they're stupid. All right. Okay, I'll let him speak, and then I got to go to the chat room and ask you guys what you think these morons even think they're talking about.
Well, to me, it speaks to a larger picture and a huge problem with the current time we're living in, and especially the Biden administration.
Why especially the Biden administration?
If you heard Biden comment on the drones, or Mayorkas comment on the drones, or Kamala Harris comment on the drones, or
What the fuck does this have to do with anything?
Karine Jean-Pierre comment on the drones, would you believe one word that came out of their mouth?
Yes. Yeah. And my issue is you seem to believe a fucking mayor from New Jersey who's talking out of his ass.
No.
Okay. So
what does that say? That doesn't say anything about them. That says everything about you.
that's a problem.
Yes, with you. It's a problem. All right. Fuck me. All right, here we go. Now, the FBI, Homeland Security, the Pentagon, they've all made statements about this, and they're like, look, we've tracked the video that people are posting online. We've looked at the fucking FAA radar picture. We've done all this stuff, and what we boiled it down to is there's some rando drones that are clearly consumer drones that are floating around out there. None of them are a coordinated threat. There's not these giant grids of fucking drones flying around. And what a lot of people think are like half of 911 calls into New Jersey about the drones are like, ma'am, that's the moon. It's always there. Click. Right? Okay. So the mayor is right about one thing. Let me see if I can find this. Yeah. There was a report of missing nuclear material from New Jersey. It was put up on December 12th by the U.S. Nuclear Regulatory Commission Operations Center. It was posted online at the U.S. NRC. This is it. It is not a secret. Now, what do you think if nuclear material or the stuff that's registered as nuclear material is lost or can't be found or was in, it was ordered in a crate and it didn't arrive? What's your first? Forget it. CAT scan. That's what you're thinking. It's a CAT scan machine. That's what it is. They have a minor amount of radioactive material in them. There's these two pins. The model of it is an Eckhart and Ziegler model HEGL 0132. The license reported to New Jersey Department on December 3rd that a GE68 pin source they sent for disposal has been lost in transit on December 2nd, 2024. The source is this thing, and the shipping container arrived at its destination damaged and empty. The licensee has filed a claim with the shipper. If the source is not located within 30 days, the licensee will follow up with a full written report to include root causes and corrective action. The event is reportable under the specifics of fucking Nuclear Regulatory Commission and like a subsection C of the thing. All right. New Jersey event report ID number to be determined. The material event contains less than Cat 3 level of radioactive material. Sources that are less than an IAEA Cat 3 sources are either sources that are very unlikely to cause permanent injury to individuals or contain a very small amount of radioactive material that would not cause any permanent injury. Some of the sources, such as moisture density gauges or thickness gauges that are Category 4, the amount of unshielded radioactive material, if not safely managed or securely protected, could possibly, although it is unlikely, temporarily injure someone who handled it were they otherwise in contact. This is a Cat 4. This is a Cat 3. It's below that. And it isn't, where is it? This thing? I think, yeah. This is what it is. It's that part. It's that part that goes into a CAT scan machine. That's what it is. That's what's missing. We know this. It was reported on December 3rd. It was posted on the Nuclear Regulatory Agency's website on the 12th. It's not a fucking mystery. They're not having grid scans of fucking drones looking for the parts of a CAT scan machine. Oh. Oh, it's just one of those things, you know. It's I can't, I'm a smart guy. Can't take it anymore. I'm surrounded by fucking moron. That's right. Yes, Adam Tercel and Kagan Melly over here, mistress of the smelly. I don't understand why they can be so stupid. I honestly don't know how they get themselves dressed in the morning without chipping a tooth. Kirk out. This is so dumb. This is so pitifully dumb. And again, the fact that these two dumbasses are talking about a missing piece of a CAT scan machine, and this prick who knows nothing about it is like, would you believe it if the Biden administration came out and told you? Well, that's a problem. That's a problem. Because now we have a problem. It's a breakdown in our society. No, it isn't. You're an asshole. You're an idiot. You're gullible. You want to believe the worst about humanity because it's the only way you can justify your support of Donald Trump. That's why. He's such a raging piece of shit that you have to talk yourself into the rest of the world being full of pieces of shit to even make sense of it in your tiny little pustule of a brain. Listen to this again, knowing now, and by the way, I know because my chat room is full of wonderfully smart people, geniuses, if I do say so my damn self, even if it's just because you watch my show. Listen once again to this lady after the description that this dickhead says, which we also know he knows is not true. When he's done, this is the fucking mayor. What the hell? How? All right. Like this, if he doesn't know, he needs to step down immediately. But the fact that you didn't even glance online and you didn't immediately go, oh, is it a shipment of nuclear material and stuff like that, and it's missing and they can't find it? I'm gonna go with medical machinery primarily. That's the vast majority of low-end nuclear material. Maybe look that up. Listen to this again. Knowing that we are talking about a pin from a CAT scan machine that you could handle without being injured. It's such a low radiative level.
Sniffing.
And that's, by the way, exposed if it's not in its case still. And it's like, what is it, galadium? What the fuck is it made of? Hold on. It's Ge68, so that's galadium, right? Hold on. Is that right? Oh, gallium, beg your pardon. Why galadium? Listen to me. Gallium 68 dotatate. A gallium Ga68 dotatate injection is used with a PET scan, positron emission tomography. I love that phrase, I gotta say. For localization of somatostatin receptor positive neuroendocrine tumors, NETs. That's what it's for. It's an inject. You can literally give someone an injection of this nuclear material without harming them. Jesus Christ.
Boy.
Okay. Like we've lost.
Like our management says things are really going to take off as soon as we get our new glasses.
Radioactive. This is like a scene out of Back to the Future, Adam.
No, it's not at all. It's not. There's a huge drop off from plutonium to something you can inject into your body without harming yourself. I don't recommend it. But no, it's not. Do not desecrate the greatness of the first Back to the Future. Don't get me started on the second one. Again, the hoverboard fallacy is one of my sci-fi red lines. Okay.
Like, remember Doc stole a whole thing of plutonium to make the DeLorean run? Where's our radioactive material? And is that what the drones are looking for? We don't know, but this is why people...
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do know. We know exactly what he's talking about. We know exactly what it's related to. And they're not doing fucking grid searches to find injectable radioactive material for trying to find tumors. We know. Stupid. We know.
People are freaked out.
Well,
and then this dense motherfucker, Adam, what the fuck is wrong with you? This dense motherfucker has the audacity to go, if Biden said anything, would you believe him? Yes. Almost as with a chip on my shoulder, because I would insist on doing it just because this is so goddamn dumb. Both of you think you should be a source on any of this shit? And you think there's a failure of media because of the presidency? Because of your distrust of the White House? Meanwhile, God damn it, this shit sniffer over here in front of the giant Georgia O'Keeffe painting wants to like castigate the government and the media because they're lied to us, when 2 clicks would, and again, this isn't even like going to the fucking, you don't have to check the New York fucking Times. This is self-evidently obvious. You can even check the reference of the guy that you're referencing. Ugh.
to me, it speaks to
whatever. Who gives a shit? It speaks to we don't trust, and that's sad.
No.
okay, so that's a problem.
Yes, it is. Jiminy Glick.
Everybody I've spoke to, I go, what do you think? And what if Biden came out and gave a presser on the drones? Would you believe any of it? Or anyone from the FBI or anyone from the CIA, or like I said, Mayorkas or Homeland Security, whatever, and they all go, no, I wouldn't believe.
That's because you are surrounded on all sides by sympathetic yes men dipshits. You have excluded people from your circle that might disagree with you on this. If you asked me, I would have not only gone, of course I would. What do they have to gain? What's the value in it? Yeah, and you think people up the line from the military and stuff wouldn't pound their chest going, we figured it out, like right away. They would, nobody blames something, the government for something showing up. The quicker they would respond to the reality of it, the more kudos they would get. So the idea that they would hash around, I don't know how it happened, is just fucking dumb. But on top of this, the fact that it takes you about 2 seconds to go, what is it? Something at the port of New Jersey was being shipped in. I'm going to guess it wasn't a giant crate of uranium. So I'm going to go with medical equipment.
Anything they said. Why should we? And it's
because there's nothing in it for them in lying, unlike you. You are selling something. So is she. You're both talking out of your ass and at the same time saying nobody trusts the media. You are the media, dummy. Both of you. He's on Sirius XM. Look at the logo. What is he, fucking indie media? Get the shit out of here. He's on as a guest, and they still got the logo in the corner because he does his show from home or from this house he's broken into to steal a Christmas tree or wherever the fuck he is.
like, well, that's kind of a weird testimonial. You know what I mean? That's
About you and your friends. Yes, it is. It's a weird thing that you are completely surrounded by nihilistic dipshits who love the smell of their own farts. That's your problem. That's not the rest of the country's problem.
That's a weird position to be in.
Yes. One should not purge their friend circles, or I guess the people working for them, of everyone who might go, I don't know. That sounds a little stupid. You sound a little stupid right now. You know?
The United States of America. I've been here for a while. I remember.
What are you talking about? People hate the government as a knee jerk. What? Did you believe the fucking yellow cake nonsense? And all of a sudden you're like, I don't know, this drone shit. Remember back in the day when we could trust people like Colin Powell at the UN?
Remember a day when
I remember when we found the weapons of mass destruction.
the president came out, made a comment or statement about it, or the director of Homeland Security or FBI or DOJ.
Yeah, and you're like, well, I don't know. Reagan says he doesn't remember anything about Iran-Contra. That's good enough for me. What? What are you talking about? Before the Warren Commission? When in your life has everybody just gone, well, the president says it, dear. Jesus Christ, what are we all, Britney Spears in 2002?
Or whomever, CIA, I would tend to believe them. I no longer believe anything they say.
Yeah, that's dumb. That's ridiculous. Oh, by the way, also, I don't know if he's still in California or not. Bet your fucking ass that if he was in an earthquake or there was a fire coming his way and he got a notification on his phone that the government was saying, hey, you better clear out, there's a fire coming your way, they'd get the fuck out of there. He wouldn't go, government, I don't believe that shit.
I wouldn't believe anything Biden says or that comes out of the Biden administration. I don't think he gets enough credit for being a liar.
About what? I agree. I don't think he gets enough credit for being a liar. You know, Trump gets plenty of credit for being a liar. I mean, it's one of his defining characteristics. He's a proud, unrepentant liar. Unlike Biden, who just doesn't, I mean, he's just kind of a participation trophy liar.
Yeah, enough credit. Yeah. Wait, let me show you.
Yeah, that is a weird phrase, and I know you don't understand it either, dum-dum.
Back to back, Biden on the drones on Tuesday and Trump on the drones on Monday. Watch this.
All those drones over New Jersey. What's behind all of that?
Nothing nefarious, apparently. But they're checking it all out. I think it's just one. There's a lot of drones authorized up there. I think one started and they all got it. Everybody's wanting to get in the deal. The government knows what.
Yeah, by the way, he's absolutely right. Every dickhead with a drone on the eastern seaboard is flying it just to be a prick right now. Like, this is a social media frenzy. Meanwhile, Trump's like, the government knows. They know what it is. They're just not saying.
Is happening. Look, our military knows where they took off from. If it's a garage, they can go right into that garage.
Bullshit. By the way, excuse me, maggots, real quick. Is this a good thing? I thought you guys were the freedom and independence, and I just want to be left alone, small government, whatever. Nah, the government can fly a drone right into your garage and blow you to pieces. They know where you are. We know where you are at all times. Get the fuck out of here. Especially like when they're just like little consumer drones. Why would they even bother? It's for local law enforcement.
They know where it came from and where it went.
Right, and they know it's not coming from a mothership parked off the goddamn coast. So, yawn.
And for some reason, they don't want to comment.
No. It's not one thing. And they're going, let's check them all out before we make a statement because people are freaked out, but we don't want to get ahead of ourselves. And in some cases, there might be ones we can't track, so we want to make sure and cross our T's and dot our I's and yada, yada, yada. That's why. And then when they finally ran it down, they're like, yeah, it ain't shit.
And I think they'd be better off saying what it is. Our military knows.
What? Yeah, what is it?
And our president knows. And for some reason, they want to keep people in suspense.
Well, I tell you what, you can declassify all the drone memos you want when you get in office. Like day one, knock yourself out, asshat. Go ahead. And even say it. As soon as I get in office, I'm going to declassify all the communications about it because people should know, blah, 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 blah.
I can't imagine it's the enemy because if it was the enemy, they'd blast it out, even if they were late, they'd blast it.
Even if they were late to the game.
Something strange is going on. For some reason, they don't want to tell the people, and they should, because the people are really, I mean, they happen to be over Bedminster, want to know the truth. They're very close to Bedminster. I think maybe I won't spend the weekend in Bedminster. I've decided to cancel my trip.
He's basically joking about it now.
Such a difference. For those who couldn't hear Biden, what he said was nothing nefarious, apparently, but they're checking it all out. There's a lot of drones authorized up there. I think one started, and they all got everybody's want to get in the deal.
No, your bad transcript is not what he said. Everyone wants to get in on the deal because it's a bunch of fucking randos fucking around now. Once that started, everybody's like, I got a drone. Let's fly this shit. Let's freak around and fly it over those. Watch it. We'll see if they post anything.
And then there was Trump. They know, and they should just tell people.
Remember 10 minutes ago when everyone was explaining to us the adults are back in charge and now we have integrity and transparency. We're going to have full
Yes. That's transparency. There's nothing nefarious, apparently, according to what they've discovered so far. They're looking into it, but what basically is happening is people flew drones up, and never mind the people mistaking ones for airplanes and helicopters and fucking VTOLs that are flying back and forth from New York and New Jersey because rich assholes have sky motorcycles now. Never mind that stuff. But insofar as drones, people are just throwing them up because they got them, and now you can fly them at night because the law changed. Yawn.
transparency.
Hold on. What's the transparency that Trump said? And also, again, I would love to see somebody address my point, which is that Trump asserts that the federal government knows exactly where something as small as a drone flying out of a garage came from and went to, as if we have radar coverage over every inch of the United States for things that small, which seems like overkill and would be noisy as fuck. And so every consumer drone in the area is tracked by the FAA. Yeah. Again, neither of them. I don't know. I would be shocked if they've ever even laid eyes on one outside of maybe Adam's been to a Best Buy in the last 2 years.
Insane is the last 4 years been in terms of the adults and transparency.
We have a infrastructure bill, the Chips and Science Act. We have computer fabs being built. We shortened supply chains. It's a lot of adult shit. What part? And by the way, let me be clear. I don't know about Megyn Kelly. I haven't seen her pieces about it. But what I have seen of Adam Corolla, he's one of these dipshits who thinks we spend all this money in Ukraine and we don't even know where it goes and nobody's even looking. He's one of those assholes. It's fucking goofy. Again, 90% of the money is spent right here in the United States making weapons that are then transferred to Ukraine. The rest of it goes through the World the World Bank and is given as loan guarantees and it's managed through them. We're not dropping off pallets of cash like we did in Iraq under George Bush. It would probably shock this asshole to realize that after that, we put laws in place to push back on that very thing.
I mean, he just, if I said to Joe Biden, how do you like your eggs? And he said, sunny side up, I'd just yell liar.
Yeah, you're weird. What the fuck is that? Like, imagine this being your defense point. Like, this is your stand. This is how you let people know what your ethical and moral ballast is, what your judgment is made of. You just sound like a prick. And by the way, let's be abundantly clear, a multi-millionaire prick. So if the shit Trump wants to do is going to cost somebody, it ain't going to be him. Right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean, mm-hmm?
I don't think he knows. That's the question.
I don't think he knows
at this
either.
point.
You're right.
At this point, runny. I don't know, like very soft-boiled.
All right, that's just weird. Because old people like soft-boiled eggs? Is that the idea? Megan, you left Fox News because you were sexually harassed. And now you spend every waking hour that you work defending a man who is best friends with the guy who did it. Well, he doesn't have real friends, but associates, business associates, and collaborators with the guy who did it. And who did it, and worse, to other women. And this asshole used to work with Dr. Pinsky all the time. So again, I'm questioning their judgment overall.
I mentioned at the top of the show. There's a New York Times article called "A Weary Biden Heads for the Exit." They talk about how he's falling asleep at his international events. He went to some museum. They had to bring the exhibits out to him. As he walked away from one event, everybody there cowered in fear that he was going to tumble over.
He didn't.
And they say it's hard to...
Also, sorry, again, wouldn't that article be about other people's worry?
Imagine that he seriously thought he could do the world's most stressful job for another 4 years.
Oh, wait till you see what they're going to write about Trump in about 6 months.
A lie the New York Times was peddling just months ago, Adam. But now it's really hard to imagine how he thought he could do it.
Yeah, well, the New York Times not calling balls and strikes, so we don't have to listen to them either. But yeah, I just don't feel like Biden.
Sorry. Balls and strikes is a reference to the judiciary. That's a fallback on the judiciary. The news organizations, especially large papers like the New York Times with big editorial boards, and especially the article that she's citing, is not a balls and strikes article anyways. It's an opinion piece.
It's funny because
It's not. It's actually not. It's lame.
Focusing on
Whatever you're going to say. I don't even know what it is at this point. Past being prologue, whatever it is, it's going to be stupid.
Biden being sort of out of it, deteriorating mentally, just like they wanted us to focus on Hunter Biden. Like, this guy had a substance abuse problem. This guy beat his problem, but he
did.
Had demons. It's like, no, he was a grifter and a thief.
For those of us.
And on that note, how so? And by the way, if he's a grifter and a thief because he didn't pay his taxes, have you looked into this fellow named Donald? Now, I got to tell you, it's hard in these situations. By the way, hit that like, everybody. Share the show. It's Hal Sparks, Megaworldwide. I got a message in the chat room, and I apologize because it went by so fast. I was able to read it, but I wasn't able to see who wrote it because of the nature of it just kind of going like this, because the size of the text here and the name and whatever. And it was basically that, like, why are you doing clips on what other people say? We should just have videos about what you have to say. I completely agree, which is why the birth of the morning show is what it is. I just don't do it solo enough. So it might mean adding another show at some point, or whatever, or just doing a regular kind of more like philosophical and research stream on occasion, where I can do an AMA or those kind of things. You guys can ask me questions, because I do have a decent amount to say, God knows, on a lot of these things. And trying to shoehorn it in with these videos sometimes can be difficult, especially if there's a depth to the conversation, right? So, that said, let's have round 2 of dipshittery today. Because this one, I don't know if this one's going to make me mad. I think I'll probably see it as funnier than it is stupid. But we'll see. It's going to be a coin toss, I think. So this is titled Democrats Try to Block Kash Patel J6 Investigation with Hidden Protection in Insane Funding Bill. Now, I got to say, Republicans control the House right now, and they will by a very small margin, again, as of January 6th. So Republicans control the bills that come to the floor. Mike Johnson, is responsible for bringing them to the floor. I guess they have some level of say-so. Yes. I wouldn't doubt that there's stuff that carries through, but the idea that Democrats are somehow in charge of this process at all is weird. So why he says Democrats try to block Kash Patel J6 thing or whatever, I don't know what the reasoning is. Let's find out. Also, hold on. Well, we'll get that in a second. I did not blur this. I don't know what the fuck is going on here. Is there like a wiggly penis emoji? Is there something wrong with Kash Patel below the waist in this picture that they just can't show?
Resolution, a short-term funding bill for the government.
And it's moving. What's move? That's gross.
Basically means Congress is incompetent and dysfunctional and can't actually put together a budget. So they're going to spend hundreds of billions of dollars of your money and money they print out of thin air upon the issuance of debt, which basically means the country's burning down and nobody's fixing it.
It's not burning down. And by the way, if again, Republicans are in charge of the process in the House, so yeah, good luck.
Anyway, I'm ranting. Okay. Anyway, so they're offering up a continuing resolution.
Not just ranting in a meaningless and wasteful way that totally lacks substance and belies, I think, a lie in and of itself that you don't actually give a shit, really. That's why you end almost every video that I've ever seen with "we'll see."
A lot of people are really mad. Hidden within this, there is a provision that would at least temporarily.
Is it hidden if it's typed out? I mean, it's just the density of it. That's why it's hidden, because you guys hate reading. So is that how we hide shit from you? Just like put it in books, anything with more than 15 pages?
Inhibit or otherwise obstruct the investigation into members of the House. That's where things get interesting. Now, I don't even need that provision to be in it for it to be a bad idea, but, whatever.
Well, yeah, because you don't care or give a shit long term. You've just bought into this idea that you need, again, the American government needs to be so small you could drown it in a bathtub to make Putin's job easier.
Right now.
Also, where the fuck are these, like, AmuseX is this site? Is he able to just, like, accuracy confidence 90% if they do say so themselves?
You've got Vivek Ramaswamy having read through.
Also hidden deep inside, like, what page is it? It should be in the 700s, I would hope.
1,500 pages of this CR, and he's basically like, this is insane. No one should vote for this.
Yeah, that's because he doesn't really give a fuck, and he's a lobbyist.
But there is a core
again in Vivek we trust, I suppose.
Story here that is not surprising to me. We have this from this morning from @Amuse on X. Continuing resolution prevents Trump's DOJ from investigating Congress.
Yeah, but wouldn't it prevent, like, state? Because I think I know what he's talking about here. That courts across the country couldn't file stuff to get, like, House communications. This is a fairly normal thing. Just to fuck with the process. So, like, let's just say, I don't know, an attorney general in a Democratic state sues Congress over some provision in the budget or whatever where they're denied something they deserve because they put more into the federal coffers than they take out, and a judge in that state or their own Supreme Court of California or something like that orders a release of documents around this thing to go after individuals in the government that may have specifically put in poison pills or diverted funds or any of these things away from that state. They would have the right to file, effectively a nuisance lawsuit if it didn't go anywhere, but at the very least, like a genuine lawsuit where they would go after like Republicans trying to undercut blue states, for example, or if a red state thought that, there was electioneering going on or some bullshit that they want, congressional emails and the like, they could sue and get those and get, private internal communications of the House for a state court or something like that. And I guess I think that's where he's going with this.
Really now? Well, the reaction is, sure, there's a...
Yeah, on Twitter, who gives a fuck?
Provision, which I'll read for you in a second, that makes it very difficult to investigate. It doesn't outright say you can't do it. It just basically...
Right. Means you have to have cause, and that because the DOJ, there's separation of powers between the administration and the Congress, that they have oversight not over the DOJ, not the other way around, so they can't muscle House members with, I don't know, charges of sex trafficking from Florida to Georgia if they happen to come up.
Inhibits you from doing it. And the counter is, but it's only temporary. This continuing resolution only goes, I believe, until March, and then they'll have to figure something else out. Yeah. Then they'll do another continuing resolution. Then they'll say, we're just going to adopt the continuing resolution.
Why? If the Republicans are running the House and the Senate and Trump's in the White House, why do you have so little faith? I thought you had a mandate.
As our spending bill. This happens all the time. So...
No, it doesn't. I mean, Clinton actually had a decent budget, you'll recall.
Don't give...
And both the last Democratic presidents, Obama and Biden, both had to do bailouts in their first term, which ate into the kind of stuff they wanted to do, even though I would argue they were both able to do some pretty miraculous shit.
Give them an inch. We did not grind our fingers to the bone for...
You did not grind your fingers to the bone at all.
...years to win this political movement, just...
Win this political movement?
So that weak-willed people in Congress who are scared of losing the midterms would...
Who? Yeah, you mean the people who are in representative government who are afraid their voters won't like them shutting down the government and therefore...
Sacrifice everything. Sorry.
Sacrifice everything in a continuing resolution. Whoa. Drama queen.
I'm not interested. But
really? Yeah, it's shocking. Whatever.
Let's read this. Muse says, on the heels of the report, the DOJ obtained the emails of Schiff and Swalwell proving they leaked classified documents to the media. Congress has inserted language into the continuing resolution, allowing it to quash any subpoena Kash Patel or Pam Bondi might issue.
Sorry, on the heels of it, you mean that you're going to need to show me that provision or something like it wasn't in a previous CR, as most are basically rubber stamps. Congress had inserted the language into the allowing quash any subpoena. Congress has inserted at what time? Just in this draft? We know it wasn't in any previous drafts.
For House data. This would make any investigation into the J6 committee all but impossible. It would,
or into who may have known and aided and abetted Matt Gaetz in sex trafficking. It would also make it very difficult to look into them, I would think.
Cripple any investigation into Schiff and Swalwell. Of course. That's the game that they're playing. Let me show you over here.
It totally is. Okay, here we go. This is the actual word. Now, yep, he's not going to show the page number.
This is the provision. So on the original tweet, Kerr-Mel says, I've asked people to verify Muse is telling the truth. So take a look at this.
Well, that's good enough for me.
We have...
Look, what do you... Hey, simmer down. He asked people to verify it, okay? That's all you need to know. It's on Twitter.
The actual language here, we have we have section D, page
Okay, here we go. 239. Okay, great. All right, at least we... So, buried? 1,500 pages and it's in the first 300? Buried. Okay.
239. It says motions to quash or modify. Upon...
I would have put it around page 1,200, just hoping that fatigue would make people not notice.
A motion made promptly by a House office or provider for a House office, a court of competent jurisdiction shall quash or modify any legal process directed to the provider for a House office if compliance with the legal process would require the disclosure of House data of the House office. No, hold.
Just House data of the House office? What do you mean? I think it's Mike Johnson's porn app alert sounds. Yeah.
Hold on there a minute. Let me just read this once again, try and understand.
Yeah, let's see if, because I think you read it. This might be the first time you're reading it, and it doesn't sound as shockingly criminal as you thought. And so you're like, I don't know, this seems kind of like normal government talk.
I'm reading. Upon a motion made promptly by a House office or provider for a House office.
Right. So the Mike Johnson's office, a congressperson themselves, they would have to make a motion on the floor, I would presume. They'd have to walk down and go, point of order, Mr. President, I would like to make a motion that this judge not be able to look at my naughty bit pictures that I have on my phone. Hear ye, right? Something like that. But they have to do it immediately or they're going to get kicked to the curb.
A court of competent jurisdiction shall quash or modify any legal process directed to the provider for a House office if compliance would require the disclosure of House data.
So their private emails and that kind of stuff back and forth wouldn't be qualified. Their campaign stuff wouldn't qualify. It has to do with internal House communications between them and the Speaker or the Speaker's office, that kind of general stuff.
Why is that in there? Honest question.
What? I don't know, to protect Matt Gaetz. And they put this in before he decided to step down.
I don't know, okay. Let's throw the J6 stuff. Let's throw the committee aside and just say, for what reason would they include a provision that says, in the event of legal action against us, we can just quash it? Meaning the court will just be like, denied.
I don't know. You'll have to ask the House Republican leadership.
What are they trying to hide? And
nothing. I think if the compliance with the legal process would require the disclosure of House data of the House office, they have a request that it would quash or modify. Shall quash or modify any legal process directed to the provider for a House office if compliance with the legal process would require the disclosure of House data of the House. So I would quash or modify. So what's the modification part, I guess, would be the big question. Do they put a hat on it, or
why would we not be allowed,
like fins and white walls,
to have a standard legal process for investigation into wrong?
They do. This is the standard part of it, so that they have separation of powers, I guess. So that, I guess, nuisance judges in the states can't fuck around with if somebody in, like, let's say I'm spitballing here, but let's say a Republican is a House member is caught scamming money from his constituents or taking bribes or those kind of things, and whoever is involved in that, like in looking into him, wants to look into interactions he's had with other House members internally there, and they know they'll get caught, so they don't want, I guess, to be on the hook for whatever that person does. So that in their own thing, it just means that it doesn't, they can go after that person, but leave us out of it.
Doing. Interesting. It goes on to say information regarding implications of using providers. The Office of the Chief Administrative Office, in consultation with the House Office of General Counsel, shall provide information regarding the potential constitutional implications and the potential impact on privileges that may be asserted to each House office that commissions and uses a provider of electronic communication or remote computing services. They're basically saying that...
basically.
If...
I don't know. Here, real quick. Read the applicable privileges part. Boy. You know how this is going to go, don't we? Okay. House continuing resolution text December, I don't know, whatever the fuck. Committee released bill to continue current funding. There it is. And we go, key takeaways. Bill text is available here. Excellent. Here is the bill text. And we're at 230, what was it, 239? It's 502. Look at this. You could have buried it a lot further in. There you go. Let me see. Promoting resilience, improvements of second things. Treatment of electronic services provided for house offices. Okay, this would be that part. 236. So this is in a section of the bill, obviously hidden, you know. Look at all these words. They hid it in all these words. Man. How do they expect us to transfer administrative jurisdiction over RFK Memorial Stadium campus to District of Columbia? I think it's probably after this. Okay. Was it 239? 236. Shit. Okay, here we go. It's, let's see. The term, okay. Term agent of the Office of Chief Administrator includes a provider of electronic communication service or remote computing service commissioned or used through the Office of the Chief Administrative Officer by House. The term electronic communication service has the meaning given the term in this. Okay, House data will represent, with respect to a House office, means any electronic mail or other electronic or data communications, other data, including metadata, or other information in the House office. The term House office means any employee office whose salaries or expenses are disbursed by the Office of the Chief Administrative Officer. So it's only hiding the material from their office, not just not every house. I literally, gee whiz, I got the impression from the way he was reading it that this was this pertained to all members of the House and any communications that they had. But no, the House office is just the Office of the Chief Administrative Officer. The term Office of the Chief Administrative Officer means the Office of the Chief Administrative Officer of the House of Representatives, just in case you're not clear on that. And gee, I wonder why there's so many pages. Because you have to legally define these things. Again, when everybody's like, why are these so long? Because they have to be legally enforceable, and you have to define what you're enforcing each time because you're re-upping this from scratch. Okay, the term provider for a House office means a provider of electronic communication service or remote computing service directly commissioned or used by a House office to provide such services. The term remote computing service has meaning given in the term sector. Okay, retaining possession. A House office shall be deemed to retain possession of any House data of the House office without regard to the use by the House office of any individual or entity described in the paragraph. Okay, rules of construction. Subparagraph A, yabba yabba yabba. Chief Administrative Officer and providers of House office. The Office of Chief Administrative Officer, any officer, employee, or agent of the Office of the Chief Administrative Officer, and any provider for a House office shall not be treated as acquiring possession, custody, or control of any House data by reason of its being transmitted, processed, or stored, whether temporarily or otherwise, through the use of an electronic system established, maintained, or operated, or the use of electronic services provided in whole or in part by the Office of the Chief. Okay, so basically they're just building a wall around the Chief Administrative Office, and so that members of the House can't take details like, I don't know, the ethics report on Matt Gaetz. This is exactly what this is. All right, they put this in there because of all the talk about, you know, if I get a hold of it, I'll just release it. Yet now they want to put it in so they can't. That's what this is about. This is about, look, if the ethics committee says we're not going to release something, and then they put it, you know, and it's going to go into storage essentially through the chief administrative officer, you know, that says, you know, what's going to be released and what isn't. They have possession of it. Somebody can't just go in and get it and release it. And they can't, if somebody subpoenas it outside the fucking White House, or outside of, I suppose, the DOJ or something, which Trump's DOJ obviously isn't going to do, but let's say any other court in the country, even Florida's courts, if they decide to try Matt Gaetz, they can't get that ethics report from the House if they choose not to release it so that it can be used as evidence as, you know, in this, fuck me. This is exactly what this is. They're covering their ass. Why would they do this? Why would they? What's going on here? What's going on? This is what's going on here, dumb fuck. Shit. All right. Notification. Notwithstanding any other provision of law or rule or of civil or criminal procedure. Again, there are always these fucking outs. If this turns out to be not constitutional or I have the right to do this, then obviously we'll give it over. But if it's a jump ball, we want the law to say this. The Office of Chief Administrative Officer, any officer, employee or agent of the office, and any provider for a house office that is providing services. That means you can't subpoena Google if they put it in, Google Drive. Jesus. I got to say, this is giving Megyn Kelly a run for her money in stupid. Whew. All right. House shall not be barred through the operation of any court order or any statutory provision from notifying the House of Office in any legal process seeking disclosure of House data of the House Office that is transmitted, processed, or stored, whether temporarily or otherwise. So even if they're going to release the ethics report, you have to wait until they release it. You can't sneak in there and grab it. If they sit on it for 10 months, you're not allowed to go in there and get it. Jesus. All right. Motion to quash or modify. Here it is. And okay, we saw that part. He read this part. He doesn't understand either. But here you go. Applicable privileges. Nothing in this section shall be construed to limit or supersede any applicable privilege, immunity, or other objection that may apply to the disclosure of House data. Preemption. Except as provided in this section, any provision of law or rule of civil or criminal procedure of any state, political subdivision, or agency thereof, which is inconsistent with this section, shall be deemed to be preempted and superseded. Effective date, any legal process seeking disclosure of House data, so we could file a date in the enactment of the act. Any matter that is pending on or after the date of the enactment of this relates to legal process, so they can punt it till afterwards. And there you go. That's it. And then they threw in this shit about drones, protection of certain facilities and assets from unmanned aircraft. These dickheads threw in like 3 paragraphs. Section 1 of the Homeland Security Act is amended by striking December 20, 2024 and inserting March 14th, 2025 because they extended it because it was going to expire. That was the other thing. The rules about what you can do about drones and unmanned aircraft around military bases and stuff was set to expire on December 20th. They have to pass this, or these drones can fucking, I don't know, maybe even land on military sites. I'm guessing they would get shot down, but the person could probably sue for a loss of gear. It's an additional special assessment, amended by striking December 23, 2024, and turning it to March 14th. There's a lot of this in there because it's a continuing resolution, so they strike the language from the original one, and they extend it to this date. That's it. They're reauthorizing Second Chance, which is Trump's, the Second Chance reauthorization. Didn't he? Wasn't that his bill in the omnibus? Yeah, they added to the crime bill, and they're re-upping Trump's Second Chance thing. So I guess we scuttle that too. I guess Ramaswamy thinks that's stupid as well. Here we go.
I'm assuming this is their cell phone provider. There is an action against them. They're going to have to say, no, you're not allowed to get access to any of that information. Probably because they're going to want to subpoena the phone records of these individuals who leaked confidential materials.
No. Not at all.
It goes on to say nothing in this section shall be construed to limit or supersede any applicable privilege, immunity, or other objection that may apply to disclosure of House data. Well,
that sucks the wind out of the whole thing.
Here's what the news is saying. NBC. Congress releases short-term funding bill as deadline nears to avert a holiday shutdown. The measure would keep the government funded until March 14th, throwing a messy deadline into Trump's first 100 days while giving the GOP more leverage to shape a full funding deal.
By the way, completely true. Just a sober analysis of what's actually happening. Not like oh, goody. Just like, this is what's going to happen. This is politics. This is how this shit works.
I'm going to throw it to Vivek Ramaswamy.
Right. Because he never says anything stupid or hyperbolic.
Let's see what he has to say, because he's the Doge guy.
No, he's not. He's the Doge spokesperson because every time Thiel or Musk starts talking about it, they sound fucking evil.
Right? He writes, I wanted to read the full 1,500-page bill and speak with key leaders before forming an opinion. Having done that, here's my view. It's full of excessive spending, special interest giveaways, and pork barrel politics.
And a re-upping of Trump's priorities that he passed because you have to keep doing some of these things, and a lot of moving of dates.
If Congress wants to get serious about government efficiency, they should vote no.
Also, why don't you just work on shit till March and put together a giant budget that will impress the fuck out of everybody? Why would you shut down the government right now and punt till March? Do you want to keep the government closed until Trump takes office? Are you out of your fucking mind?
Keeping the government open until March 14th will cost $380 billion by itself. But the true cost of this omnibus continuing resolution is far greater due to new spending.
Oh, terrible. What kind of new spending do we have?
Doing the farm bill for an extra year is a...
Oh, renewing the farm bill? You know what? I'm on board. Go ahead. Fuck the farmers. It's a great way to enter into this. Trump can, he'll buy back their love with tariffs in 10 months. The farm bill. Yeah, go for it, dickhead. Attack the farm. That's how you get to the heart of the blue cities. Really, really scare places like Chicago and the like, is go after the farm bill. Right out of the gate.
$130 billion. Disaster relief, $100 billion.
Oh, okay. So North Carolina, fuck North Carolina. Okay, what the hell? Check. What? Hang on. Don't just breeze past these. Explain to me how you're for this shit. Killing the farm bill and fuck disaster relief. So again, sorry, what was that shit about like FEMA workers not helping Trumpers and red state people, blah, blah, blah?
Stimulus for farmers, $10 billion. The Francis...
Whoa. Why wasn't that added to the farm bill thing? First of all, why does Vivek Ramaswamy have a fucking bee up his ass about farmers? So, like, 3 sentences in, it's like, fuck the farmers twice?
Scott Key Bridge replacement, $8 billion. The proposed...
Okay. What do you want to do? Let it collapse? Hold on. I'm not even sure I know where the Francis Scott Key... I mean, is there more than one? I don't know. Francis Scott Key Bridge. Federal spending bill includes Key Bridge funds. The proposal... Oh, this is the one that fell down? Yeah, in Maryland. That's the bridge that fucking collapsed. Congress unveils spending bill that includes funding for Francis Scott Key Bridge build. Yeah, it's kind of crucial. That's the one that the boat hit. Bridge collapse earlier. Okay. It was estimated the construction cost would cost nearly $2 billion. Maryland officials applauded Congress's move to fund the repairs, ensuring taxpayers won't bear the burden of Maryland. Wes Moore said this. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Collapse of that was a national crisis. Meeting in unit. Ben Cardin and Chris Van Allen of Maryland released a following statement. And the legislation must be passed by Friday to avoid a government shutdown, which it will.
Proposal adds at least 65 cents of new spending for every dollar of continued discretionary spending. The
discretionary spending. This is because it's discretionary spending itself. This is the discretionary part. 65% of it is new because they've gotten rid of the other stuff because you don't need it anymore. That's the discretionary spending is temporary.
Will end up hurting many of the people it purports to help. Debt-fueled spending sprees may feel good today.
Yeah, farmers. Fuck you.
But it's like showering cocaine on an addict.
Yeah, you doped up farmer assholes with I need more fertilizer. Stop snorting it.
It's not compassion. It's cruelty. Farmers will see more land sold to foreign buyers when taxes inevitably rise to meet our obligations.
Why would they rise? I thought we were going to get so rich off of tariffs, we're not even going to have taxes anymore.
Our children will be saddled with crippling debt interest payments. Crippling debt. Interest payments will be the largest item in our national budget. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's will be. We've heard this for a long fucking time. Right, unless we curtail spending. We know that. But killing a continuing resolution till March when you guys can produce an actual budget and argue it, which is what you don't want to do. You want to lay this at the fucking feet of Biden and blame him for the shutdown or some shit. I don't know how, but that's where you want to put it. Good Lord.
Congress has known about this deadline since they created it in late September.
You mean the Republican-led House?
There's no reason why this couldn't have gone through the standard process instead of being...
Yeah, stupid Mike Johnson.
Rushed to a vote right before Congress would want to go home for the...
I think one of the reasons is because they don't have a mandate. There's like a small majority by the Republicans, and it gets smaller after the first of the year. I think they might, just maybe, they might have to give slightly less to Democrats to get it passed if they do it now, as opposed to wait till after the 6th. Maybe that's why Mike Johnson's trying to rush it through right before the holidays. Maybe it's not. There's no fucking way Tim Pool doesn't know that Democrats don't control the House, right? Like, he's stupid, but he's not that dumb, right? Well, I don't know. Maybe he is. Does he have no idea?
Holidays. Yeah, that's on purpose, and we all know it.
Yes. Ask Mike Johnson why that is.
The urgency is 100% manufactured and designed to avoid serious public debate.
No, it isn't. You can't have serious public debate if the government's going to shut down on this time frame, and letting it shut down will just wreck shit through the holiday. I guess you want to. I guess you're just trying to. I think they're trying to. What do you want to trigger a collapse of the economy before Trump takes office? Fuck, man. If he wants to clean this shit up. So you guys just want to hand him yet another bear trap he's going to have to deal with?
The bill could have easily been under 20 pages. Instead,
no, it couldn't. It's not a fucking CVS receipt.
There are dozens of unrelated policy items crammed into the 1,547 pages of this bill. There's no legitimate reason for them to be voted on as a package deal by a lame duck Congress.
The lame duck Congress. Hold on. First of all, it's not really a lame duck Congress because Republicans have more control than they're going to have. I mean, again, it shuts down on the 23rd. What the fuck do you think's going to happen? You think they're going to strip this out and do like a 10-page just IOU?
72 pages worth of pandemic preparedness and response policy, renewal of the much criticized...
Which doesn't cost a dime. It's just clarification of policy. Who gives a shit about the policy stuff that's added to it? That doesn't have anything to do with the debt or the amount of money being put out.
Global Engagement Center, which is being...
Renewal of the much criticized Global Engagement Center. Which costs what? Is it the price tag you have a problem with? If you want to get rid of it, isn't Trump going to get rid of the fucking Department of Education? You can get rid of that too.
I believe the Federalists and Daily Wire have sued the government over.
Yawn.
A key player in the federal censorship state, 17 different pieces of commerce legislation paving the way for a new football stadium in D.C.
So? When the federal government has to sign off on major building projects inside Washington, D.C. It's not going to cost the federal government money in that regard, but they have to approve it, paving the way, hence.
What? A pay raise for congressmen and senators and making them eligible for federal employee health benefits.
Well, again, that sounds like maybe Democrats do control the House.
It's indefensible to ram these measures through at the last second without debate.
They already had the debate about these things. They added these elements to them. They went through committee. They attached them to the CR. They've debated these things for a long time. They've signed off on them. You don't redebate every fucking thing from scratch every year. If you want to come up with a budget and present one as soon as your dude gets in. Thrall me with your acumen.
We're grateful for Doge's warm reception on Capitol Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Nearly everyone agrees we need a smaller and more streamlined federal government.
I'm not one of the nearly everyone, folks. And you only have a 1.5% margin in the election. So simmer the fuck down.
But actions speak louder than words. This is an early test. The bill should fail.
And be replaced with what? Seriously. Be replaced with what? And here's the other thing, too. If Doge is such a smart move, and Vivek Ramaswamy is such a fucking genius, and the CR is driving him crazy because it's got all this stuff in it it shouldn't have, and blah, 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 and fucking blah. Didn't they know back in the summer that there was going to be a CR when it was set in September? They're aware of this. So why is he bitching about it and trying to kill it 2 days before the vote with nothing to replace it with? You know what? Maybe he does. Maybe Doge has concepts of a budget. I doubt it. I gotta say, there's a lot of wrestling for dumb in today's show, across the board. There is, well, let's see, hold on. I don't know if you know this, but Ozembic has a new fan. Did you guys know this? This guy. I guess it's he's trying to get down to prison weight. Ozembic. Elon declares war on the deep state. Well, bring it on, dipshit. I am the deep state. Now, this is just a 5.5-minute video, I guess, in his yard in one of his multiple houses where he lives out the torment of being denied his free speech rights while obviously being able to post videos online like everybody else.
The deep state declared war on Elon Musk.
Elon declares war on the deep state. Well, I mean, I guess you have to have both sides have to declare war for it to be official or whatever.
And now he's declared war on them.
Dun, dun, dun. Why do your graphics look like shit? I don't know, like it looks like you got off a fucking film strip or something. Store.com. That's the show. I mean, that's why. Just go ahead. Call your show Store. I think you missed your boat.
Something astonishing came out in the last 24 hours.
Well, hey, it's important to be regular.
But if you've been under attack by this system, it's not astonishing. It's
okay. Well, I'll just prepare to be bored then, I guess.
Something that I've been viciously attacked.
Oh, boo fuckity who. I mean, I can't imagine how you must feel. You must feel like, I don't know, a parent that lost a toddler and some rando fuckhead on the internet sent their fans to piss on their grave.
In the last 8+ years, at a level unprecedented except for President Trump and now Elon Musk.
Yeah, I feel terrible for both of them, mostly because of their diet. Also, if anything you say is true, how are you alive?
And that is the entire military-industrial complex, disinformation complex, CIA system.
Yeah, they must be exhausted from just the email chains.
Operation Mockingbird 2.0.
Beta, obviously. You're not going to get the full alpha version.
That spends billions of dollars a year targeting individuals that are populist, that are pro-human, that are anti-globalist.
Why would they if you're so good at deflating yourself? Also, why does your face look like you've had it submerged underwater? It's a reptile. I knew it.
And when I got designated as a Russian agent with no evidence 8+ years ago, they even had congressional hearings just saying it, and I wasn't invited. I couldn't defend myself.
But, sorry, were you put in jail for it? So people were saying shit about you. You couldn't defend yourself. You couldn't file like a libel lawsuit or something like that.
They then triggered the Foreign Disinformation, Countering Foreign Disinformation Propaganda Act against myself and Trump and others, and several $1 billion we know of was spent targeting us through PR firms, through major publications like Reuters, AP, and others.
Oh, I see. So they made you torment the Sandy Hook parents. You didn't want to. They used an MK Ultra Jewish space laser to make you say a bunch of awful, stupid shit to torment the parents of dead toddlers. And it was all part of a great plot, great plan.
Well, now it's come out that an astounding, that is astounding, the number.
It is astounding.
300 million alone.
Why is 300 million a big number if they're spending billions?
Congressional reports, because Trump's come into office, the documents are now coming out, targeting Elon Musk for total destruction, attacking all of his companies, lying about him, just making up completely fake stories.
Yeah, this is from the Musk Industrial Complex 2024 Pulitzer Prize winner of him in a fucking Jughead hat. It's from, it says politics. It says, look, that says national reporting. I believe it.
So this is a big, big deal.
It is a big deal. It's huge, gigantic, enormous. Well, it's smaller than you might think, but it's actually pretty small. It's actually tiny. It's actually pathetic. So it's really nothing
Ladies
there.
and gentlemen, it's criminal. It's criminal racketeering, and it's what was done to me with all the disinformation pieces that you...
Yeah, I don't know. I think that only talks about Elon Musk and what little piece of that fake article you were showing says. I didn't see any mention of you at all. You'd think if they were doing it for, to you longer, you'd at least show up in the byline.
Seen, and countless others to a smaller level, but when you see...
Well, if it's a smaller level, then it shouldn't be countless. You should be able to keep track of it. Was it 8, 10, 15? What are we talking about? 200? 65? 3? 3. I'm going with 3.
Somebody being attacked by this system, you know they're over the target. You know they're the good guys.
Or, you could argue that the system attacked Jeffrey Epstein. It attacked the Branch Davidians. It attacked Timothy McVeigh. They went after him pretty hard. They said some pretty awful things about that guy. Now, granted, they were all true and the like, but it'd be hard to argue that the system wasn't after him. Boy, did they marshal all elements of law enforcement in the country to go after that guy. So, obviously, according to Alex Jones, and I don't want to put words in his mouth directly, but I think it's clear what he's saying here. If he's not implying directly, he's allowing for the inference thereof that he's a big fan of Timothy McVeigh, and he wants to play him in the Turner Diaries movie, I guess.
We'll be covering this more in the day, but this is a big...
Yeah, cover. Yeah, wait till later. I don't need to.
Big issue. Elon...
Yeah, it's huge. It's obviously... But thanks for showing your tweet or something. Obviously, it's nice to know that your own feed thinks you're a relevant person to your own self. And weird, the same person that Tim Pool was just citing shows up in your relevant people right next to you. Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird? And he was being paid by the Russians through Tenet Media to promote Russian talking points as by paying him for bullshit videos as a way to funnel money apparently to his regular operation and keep it propped up and help it develop and grow inorganically with the support of RT and the Russian state. And he was citing this, just grabbing this shit. And it's weird that they would have said, I don't know, what are the odds? But he was just citing this one, and then you're considered relevant to each other. That's funny. It was in the algorithm on X, which I'm sure is completely, again, organic and natural and designed not at all to promote Russian narratives at all. It's great. And, of course, you're, I guess, citing them as well.
Musk has now discovered that the deep state, the U.S. intelligence agencies, the
why did the corners just get blurry? I mean, I appreciate you pulling back. How about Cleveland?
Biden administration spent $300 million in one ad buy we know of, planning.
Sorry, ad buys? These were the Biden administration put ads on Reuters sites about what a scumbag you are. I mean, talk about gilding the lily.
Stories about Elon Musk, his family, his companies, and more. This is criminal racketeering, and Musk has come out and said,
Deep state, okay, there's a globalist death cult is embedded in governments, and the world must be removed from humanity as a chance of not collapsing. Godspeed, Elon Musk, for joining the info war by officially declaring war on the cult. Whatever. Deep state traders are coming after me using their paid shills in legacy media. I prefer not to start fights, but I do end them. Yeah, I got to tell you, X is just where all the macho is. Like, it's where the alpha males go to, I don't know, rub their guts against each other.
Deep state's coming after me with their paid shills. I don't start fights, but I finish them. So they've declared.
He said end. But finish sounds like you're putting the finer touches on it.
War on him. He has accepted the challenge.
Great, super exciting. It's going to be badass. Yep, it's the deep state traders. Go after them. Sure.
They need to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
Yeah, they do. Them, especially them. They're the ones that, if you're going to really bring up who they are, then they are them. That's who I'm thinking, is them, right? Obviously, you guys know who they are, right? It's them. It always has been.
Illegal to engage in domestic propaganda and target U.S. citizens between government corporations. It is classic mafia racketeering.
Well, I guess, I think he should file a lawsuit. I think he's being unfairly targeted. And then they can have discovery and then find that he might be violating the Foreign Agents Registration Act. And then it gets really murky for months and months and months.
This just shows how threatened the system is by Elon Musk, myself, and Donald Trump.
Why you, motherfucker? Well, how's this about you? It just seems like you're trying to top tweet him and suck up to this dude.
If you're not under attack by the globalist, you are not over the target.
Well, again, you're not under attack by the globalists. You're aligned with this dude and the guy who's in the White House. Fuck are you talking about? If there are globalists, they obviously let Trump get elected.
So things are going to get very, very interesting. Very,
very interesting. They're already interesting. I'm very interested. This is getting more and more interesting the more you talk.
Very quick, and the system is very, very scared because they thought they were invincible, and they've committed so many crimes that make your head spin.
I don't know that that's true. I think that's it's making my neck stiff just thinking about it.
Look at what we already know. Look what we've already experienced. Imagine what we don't know.
Oh, dude, I don't have time to imagine all the things you don't know.
Once Trump gets in there and puts Kash Patel in as the FBI director, Tulsi Gabbard in as the head, a director of national intelligence and so much more, RFK Jr. over HHS. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is a real revolution against tyranny.
Why would they allow it to happen? I mean, obviously, none of these people are going to be able to make it because the they, them, Illuminati, Pentaveret wouldn't obviously let them. It's not even possible. If they control everything, they're not even going to let one of these people in, much less all of them. Clearly, they're doomed from the start.
This is so exciting.
It's a little stupid, actually. I mean, I think if your argument is that he's selling shit the rest of the time, like literally, it's like Bill O'Reilly's videos. Everything like buy CMOS. This is me before and this is me after. I think it might just be stress, dummy. I don't know that you look better. You just look like you're using a filter. It's got organic Irish moss, bladderwrack. Well, shit. I've been looking for a good source of bladderwrack. Burdock, obviously. He was my favorite character on the A-Team revival. And bioperine, black pepper extract. Wow, where am I? I mean, I guess you could extract something from black pepper that's useful. Obviously, you could put black pepper on things. It seems like you would just cut right to the chase. Maybe, I don't know. You think they both have throat cancer? You think that's what it is? Sorry, what isn't Why doesn't Hunter Biden file lawsuits? He did, actually, for defamation. Trump is, why don't we ever go after all of his lies? He did file one, and a judge in one of them threw it out, I guess. But ultimately, none of that stuff landed, so they just let it lie. I think more about the politics of it. So, and it just draws ugly attention to his dad. So I think that's more the reason. Because he did do, drugs, and he did have hookers and all that kind of stuff. So the more attention he draws to it, the worse it is for his dad's legacy. I think he wants to leave sleeping dogs lie. But really, I agree. I think he could win. Now, do I have time left? Yeah, I got about 15 minutes left. Jesus Christ, I don't have anywhere near the amount of time I need to cover all this shit. And then I'm going to go have dinner with our dear friend Rob Glenn, who happens to be in Vegas right now, which is kind of a one-off. He's in here for computer business and stuff like that. I think honestly, I think he's just here to rig slot machines and win. I'm kidding. Don't, Mafia, leave him alone. I was just joking. All right. Okay, I don't know what this is, and I'm curious. Harnwell, beware Americans, the mother of all betrayals is at hand. This is Steve Bannon, who is not getting a position in the White House. Love you too, Denise. Thank you. I don't know who this guy is, but I feel like these guys should be roommates. But whatever place they share is going to need 2 full baths. I mean, not that he'll use the bath part, but they should have separate toilets. You don't want either of these guys waiting for the other to finish. I don't know what the mother of all betrayals is. Let's find out.
Ben Harnwell from.
But what do you think? What do you think? We're not going to do 30 minutes of this shit. Get out of here. Maybe 5 minutes. But what do you think it's going to be? The drones are here to kill him. It's the Iranians. We're helping. Do you think it's Syria? I don't know. I'm excited because anytime these assholes are worried, it's good.
Rome, give me your assessment. I got the Jim Rickards on deck. What do you got for me, Ben?
Well, with regards to Europe, Steve, my takeaway is it's absolutely astonishing how the
you don't say. It's wonderful. I've been looking into this, if you don't know, and there's a wave of alpha male virility rolling across Europe right now because everyone's getting the BDE from Donald Trump, you don't know, and everyone is so. How raid Boston Brian? Oh, is he going live after this? I will. It's a great idea. If he should go on at. I know he was going to go on at the half hour, right? Is he already up? 4:35, 36. Yeah, he's on already. I will throw it to him as soon as I'm done.
World's mainstream media is looking at these events and failing to even attempt to draw the lines. You can almost get a sense of deja vu reading the newspapers. You're seeing the same sort of headlines describing the same.
Yeah, it's because Trump hasn't changed. He's still a scumbag.
Situations. And none of the world's foreign correspondents are saying, hang on, basically this all seems to be the same thing.
It's weird. They're spelling Trump the same way as they did last time.
See if we can unpack this. Looking at Germany, looking at France as well, these two countries are...
And looking at a lady's underpants.
Extremely closely related. The German situation, now they're going to have, with all due respect to what CNN was saying earlier on, this losing the vote of confidence was actually what Olaf Scholz, the German chancellor, wanted, because there was no other constitutional mechanism to go to early elections other than losing this vote. That was very much part of his design. But you're looking at the two parties in Germany, the Social Democrats and the Christian Democrats. And
that's both of those sound awful.
They're both trying to outcompete one another
to be good people.
See which party can more autistically ignore the German people. The social...
Yeah, especially the Christians. Jesus.
Democrats have basically continued Angela Merkel's policy, who is a Christian Democrat. They've continued her policy with regards to immigration, which is massively unpopular in...
like Christianity in general.
In Germany.
Yeah, they're not big fans. They went through a real period where they didn't like the people. I think the leader of, if I'm not mistaken, the first Christian ever was Jewish.
The Christian Democrats, Friedrich Merz, Merkel's successor, is saying, okay, no, we're going to tighten up on immigration, but we're going to be even more gung-ho on Ukraine than Olaf Scholz was. He's
And Olaf Scholz is hoping that he can stay in by being slightly less gung-ho. And by the way, he was the ass drag in this whole thing. We were always turned around and waiting for Germany to catch up. Like, if it wasn't for Hungary, the massive ire of the European Union about, somebody lagging in support for Ukraine would have all been trained on Germany, largely because they were initially the most on the tit for Russian oil.
Very much, I think, if the Warming Posse wants to put him in a category, he's very much, I think, like Giorgia Meloni on so many different fronts.
Fascinating.
This is why the real development...
The Christians? No, the Christian Democrats. That's right, Jamie.
Germany isn't happening between the centre-left or the centre-right. It's what's happening with the AFD.
It's not. It's not happening.
Now, they are projected to go at the next elections on February the 23rd from about 10.3%, where they've got about 83 seats, up to about 18
That's
points at the next election. They're going to have an 8-point jump, and they're projected to pick up around 30 or so seats.
He's already getting the playoff music from fucking from Bannon. Do you hear that in the background?
That, I think, is the real movement, what's happening in Germany. Just to quickly say to France...
Yeah, I've got to deal with France before you broom me off,
And my big point is on Ukraine. And I don't...
Yeah, no shit. Really? You can't beat up on them enough? You can't be pro-Bucha rape squad enough, you weirdo? Dude, you look like somebody who's just had his hard drive seized by the FBI.
I don't want to cut into too much what Jim Rickard is going to say here on tying what the European developments together. But looking at France, here's how you know the mainstream media is lying to you. The whole...
their mouths are moving.
Frame when their government fell 3 weeks ago, the whole frame was, these $3 billion worth of tax increases, I should say, on electricity bills. They're very unpopular with the French people. Steve, nobody mentioned whatsoever that however unpopular $3 billion worth is on electricity bills, Macron had given 7.5 billion euros to Ukraine, and no one is drawing the line between cause and effect.
Yeah, there's no cause and effect to it. There isn't. These are unrelated. Again, if Russia takes over Europe, it's lights out, motherfucker.
Do I have Ben Harnwell? Ben, let's talk about, you've got a lot to say about Ukraine. This Ukraine.
All right, never mind. So I guess that was the cheap piece on his whatever. I feel like since our dear friend, Boston Brian has gone live. Let me see is he on Twitch? He should be. God damn it. Because if I can raid Boston Brian, that'd be a good time. Hold on. Yeah, there he is. I'm gonna pop off early and throw it to him because he overlapped with my show, as you do. It's okay because he's back east. And Boston Brian has Tennessee Brando on. The horror. So let me. I'm gonna raid you guys over there, and then I'm gonna bug out and go hang out with Rob Glenn, and I will see you guys tomorrow. How about that? Rather than start into these dipshits, we'll just throw you over there. How about that? So I'm gonna start the raid on Boston Brian's thing, and see who we got. We got 108 people. He's got 15 people in there right now, and I'm gonna send him 128 people, 129, 130. Boink. We'll send him over there. Come on now.
I think we,
I think so too. And send everybody some love. There we go. Raiding with a party of 130. Look at that. So Twitch people, take good care of him. YouTube, I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care of yourselves and take care of somebody else. And I'm going to bug out and go say hi to Rob Glenn. Much love. And thank you so much. Hold on. What was this? There was a super chat right at the tail end. Why this dude look like the Elephant Man? It's an excellent point. Unless you're talking about me, in which case I didn't realize you could see that I'm not wearing pants.